I have waited so long for this moment. So long. Hey guys, welcome back to the Girl Gone London channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I'm a dual American and UK citizen for real this time. First time I've been able to be a legitimate dual citizen in my videos. And today I'm telling you all about my UK citizenship ceremony as an American. Okay, so I haven't planned this video out. I've just come with my documents from my citizenship ceremony because it was today. So today is December 17th. I don't know when I'm gonna post this video because I have some Christmas ones that I wanna post because it's festive and citizenship is nice but not very festive. So I don't know when you'll see this, but December 17th is today, and my citizenship ceremony was this morning at 10 a.m. So you may have seen my video about being approved for citizenship, but that doesn't mean that I was then a citizen. I simply got an invitation via email to a citizenship ceremony. You are not a citizen until you have attended the ceremony and said your oath or affirmation, basically of allegiance. So I thought this would be an interesting video to kind of take you through what my ceremony was like. It was slightly different because of COVID, and I didn't bring in a camera to film it, but I did bring in my phone to take a couple pictures, and I brought home all of my stuff. So how did it start? So I got the invitation and I had to book on to a ceremony within 3 months of receiving the invitation. As you may know, I have been in the US for a while, so I wasn't able to book it until today, December 17th. I think I could have booked one in January, but that was my last group ceremony option. You can also book a private ceremony, but you have to pay extra, and I didn't really feel like paying extra considering how much I've spent on visas and citizenship so far. Well, it's done now, so I guess in total. So I just did the group ceremony. So there were about 20 of us, a couple families, but mostly people attending by themselves. And the one kicker was that we were originally told we were going to be able to have 2 guests. So this was a limit anyway, I think, for COVID. Normally you could have more guests than that, but because of COVID, we were told we could have 2 guests. So I was like, okay. So my husband would obviously be guest 1, and then I was gonna have to awkwardly make my in-laws choose who would be my second. But then we got an email a couple weeks ago saying, just kidding, you can't have any guests. So I could basically attend by myself, and that was it. So I think, not to put a damper on this video or my excitement about being a citizen, but I think in my head, I had always really thought of this as an event to look forward to for years. And so it was kind of, as with anything that has been ruined by COVID, it was a little bit disheartening to have to just do it by myself, but we all clapped for each other, so it was fine. But that's why I attended by myself. Nobody could attend with me. What actually happened in the ceremony? So I go to the registrar's office in my local town, and they shuffle us in to the citizenship ceremony room. We have to check in, and we have to decide if we are doing if you swear your allegiance or affirm. And the swearing one talks about Almighty God, and the other one doesn't. So you get to choose if you would like to include saying anything about God or not. So whichever one you choose, you get this fun little piece of paper that tells you what you're going to read later on in the ceremony. So I had to go in, check in, decide if I was swearing or affirming, and then I went and took my seat where I had this whole packet of stuff, which I will go through. So the first thing that really drew my attention was the citizenship ceremony pamphlet. You can see what county I live in here. I live in Buckinghamshire. Shout out to any fellow Bucks people. The first thing that happens is one of the people who work at the the council basically do a short introduction welcoming you. She definitely didn't say exactly what was written on here, but you can imagine we are delighted to extend a warm welcome. Whether you are relatively new to the county or have lived here for many years, we congratulate you. They talk up the county that you're in a lot. So they say Buckinghamshire is a county with a wonderful heritage, which is steeped in history and has a great future. So she starts off by introducing that. And then we move on to a representative of the Queen, Her Majesty herself. And she does a speech about, it was actually really nice. It was about her welcoming you as a citizen, but also she had moved to the county from Scotland. And so she was kind of talking about her experience being someone new and kind of integrating into the community and different things to get involved in. It was a very good speech. It was pretty uplifting, and you could tell that she probably gives it at a lot of different ceremonies, but it was particular to her. She wasn't just reading like off of a pamphlet. So she does her spiel, and then all eyes are at the front where the Queen on a picture is sitting there staring at you the whole time with flags. It looked exactly like I pictured in my head with the picture of the Queen, because I had seen this in other people's videos, but it was definitely pretty funny to kind of have her like presiding over the ceremony via this picture taken, I'm not sure when, her official photo, but she wasn't like zooming in from her bed. So I don't know. Maybe she should attend these things via Zoom now. She doesn't have to come, but no, they sent a picture in her place. So we've got the Queen at the front. We've been welcomed by some representatives of her and of the council. And now it is time to affirm or swear our oath of allegiance. So a couple things here. We were wearing masks due to COVID. So if you're watching this like 10 years from now, I hope you still don't have to do this, but definitely a sign of the times. But it is a legal requirement that they see you saying the oath. So you had to take your masks down in order to actually say the oath, which I was like, this isn't if we're going for no COVID here, I feel like taking our masks down when we're all talking is kind of besides the point, but it is a legal requirement, I guess, for them to actually see you or hear you saying this oath. So they first start by going around the room and you have to say, I, and then you say your name. So you have kind of started the oath. So it'd be like, I, Sally Jones, I, Kaylin Frankie, and I went on like that. And then everybody together says either the oath or the affirmation, depending on which one, or the swearing in or the affirming, whichever one you've chosen. So I chose the swearing in oath of allegiance, which I will redo for you now as if you're there. I, Kaylin Frankie, swear by Almighty God that on becoming a British citizen, I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors according to law. So we go around the room and we all do this. And then we have to do the pledge. Now, I had no idea that there was a pledge involved until I kind of looked into citizenship ceremonies more, because in America, we all know and talk about the Pledge of Allegiance. There is not a pledge that British people say like in the mornings. Like my husband has never said this pledge. My British friends here think it's a little funny because they've never had to pledge their allegiance. But as a naturalized citizen, you say the pledge. So the pledge to the United Kingdom is, I will give my loyalty to the United Kingdom and respect its rights and freedoms. I will uphold its democratic values. I will observe its laws faithfully and fulfill my duties and obligations as a British citizen. So there's nothing about owning an allotment in there, which is a little disappointing. After we did that, we got presented with our certificates. So we got called one by one. You get to go up, you get your naturalization certificate, which I don't have, which I'll tell you why in a second. And you stand next to the picture of the Queen and the representative, and they take your picture. Now, because we didn't have guests, there was nobody to take your picture except for the official photographer. So you can buy, this comes in your packet, You can buy your citizenship picture. They offer professional citizenship photography, and the cheapest option is £15 for an 8x6 photo. You can order lots of different options, unmounted, framed. I did not choose to order a picture, not because it doesn't mean something to me, but because it was a little bit, I don't know, a little bit of a downer with COVID. I didn't necessarily feel like I needed a framed picture of this event that my family and friends couldn't come to. So I didn't get a picture of myself. My husband did get a picture afterwards outside that I will keep for myself, so I will not be ordering the official photos. Anyway, so you go up, you get your photo taken. We all clapped when everybody got called, and then you clap as they go back down. It's very clap heavy, which as an American, I appreciate. And after that, we all stood up again. And it says in the ceremony booklet that we were going to sing the national anthem, but there was no singing involved. They didn't specifically say don't sing, but we just didn't. People kept their masks on, and they played the music of the first verse of the national anthem, but they didn't play like the words. Nobody sang the words on track, so we kind of just like listened to the background and read the words ourselves, which was a little disappointing because my husband and I had practiced this the day before, so I knew the words and could participate, so I kind of did it in my head under my breath. But fun story for those of you who don't know is the tune to God Save the Queen is the same as the tune to an American patriotic song called My Country 'Tis of Thee. I'm pretty sure the Americans ripped the tune from the UK, but as this background music is playing, because the lyrics aren't playing, in my head I'm doing like the American patriotic song and the British national anthem at the same time. So another example of being stuck in between two worlds, having all these different things going on. So we all stood, did that. And then it was a very brief closing speech and they let us go. And because we didn't have guests, it was pretty much just have a nice life. The door is here, and some people stuck around for like tea and coffee, but again, my husband was outside waiting for me, so I wasn't gonna really like have tea or coffee with myself. So I then promptly exited with my certificate and was a British citizen. I have waited so long for this moment, so long. It's taken 5+ years for the official like visa process towards citizenship, but we have basically approached 10 years since I first moved to the UK. And through that entire time, I have had to deal with visa stress, with making decisions based on being allowed back in the country, just all kinds of things that were wrapped up in this identity as somebody who was a visitor and then a visa holding resident of the UK. To now be a citizen and to have all of those restrictions gone, to never have to make a decision again based on visas is the best feeling in the world. And so then we got home and my husband got me a few gifts, including some bake at home cookies from Waitrose, which is right up my alley. And then I'm left with this packet of stuff. Now I'll show you some more of what's in this packet, but the reason I don't have my citizenship certificate to show you in person, but I'll put an image here, is because I had to send it off to get a UK passport. So you become a citizen, you're like, yes, I'm done, no more paperwork, don't have to think about it ever again. And then you're like, oh wait, if you want a passport to leave the country or to travel as a UK citizen, you need the passport. So I did my whole passport application today, which is like £80 more. I had to fill out an online form, have somebody attest that it was me, and then I sent my American passport and my naturalization certificate off to the UK passport processing center. So that's why I don't have it. I'm hoping it comes back within the allocated 5 to 6 weeks, because it's really weird not having either my new naturalization certificate or my American passport. I basically feel like I have nothing. So hopefully that will come back soon. But the other things I received in this fun little packet, so I've got a home office. You can now apply for a British passport. So I already went through all this because I was like, I need a passport. I'm not going to wait for the written instructions. So I found them online. And then there's some information for British nationals that answer questions like, what if I have more than one nationality? British law allows you to retain any other nationality you may already hold. Some countries don't let you have dual, as I talked about in my video. America does let you have dual. I would not be getting UK citizenship if I had to give up my American citizenship. So I am now a dual citizen. And it just talks about like that I have the right to live here, what passport you should travel on, things like that. So that was some fun information. I got a welcome letter from the Home Secretary. We're not going to get political in this video, but thank you. And she's welcoming me, my choice to be a British citizen, blah, blah, blah. Again, talking about like, we're all in this together, ties to the UK, fundamental rights, fairness, democracy, blah, blah, blah. Then my final little token, which is my favorite part from the whole entire ceremony, is this little pin. See if, I don't know what I'm doing here, so let's see if I can show it. There we go. So this says, congratulations on becoming a British citizen. We wish you all the best in the future. Nice little Union Jack there. And yeah, so it's a little pin, which I think is really cute and a really nice touch. So that was something that I was really happy to get. Makes it feel like more of an occasion. I don't know, got like a memento from this whole ordeal. So that was my citizenship ceremony as an American. They did say my name wrong. So I don't know if I've actually said my full name on YouTube, but my name is Kaylin Franke, and it's spelled well, people think it's Frank because it's Franke. It's German. It was Franke, but then the history of my family is they came to America and it became Frankie, but that's why a lot of people think it's Frank because you wouldn't pronounce the E. But anyway, so they said Kaylin Frank, and I was like, that's me. I'm used to this. So yeah, so it went well. Not as exciting as I would have hoped because of the last minute lack of guests. However, some people have had to do virtual ceremonies during the pandemic. So I'm glad that I got to at least go and like put real clothes on and into the outside world and make kind of something of it instead of just sitting on Zoom. So I'm very grateful for that, but not necessarily the huge shebang that in my head all these years I had pictured, and people in general aren't looking to like mingle and get together a lot right now. So yeah, I am going to I think I'm going to post this after Christmas. So I'm not sure if I will have held it yet or not. But I think I'm going to do a YouTube live celebrate with me to try and share this kind of celebration and journey with everybody who watches me on YouTube. I think I've come to the end again. I didn't, I say a lot. I really realized that the other day when I was editing. I need a new word to say besides but stick with me. I'll have to think of one. So I think that's it. If you have any questions about the ceremony, feel free to leave them below. It was something that I'm really glad to have accomplished. It hasn't quite sunk in yet, probably until I get my passport, that this is my life now as a dual citizen. Probably when I get to use that at an airport, it will feel even more real. But for now, I'm going to celebrate with fish and chips with my husband and in-laws. And yeah, just look at all the different things I can do now that I'm a citizen. I need to register to vote. That's weird. I'm gonna get to vote in the UK, which I've lived here for almost 10 years and have never been able to vote. When we're talking about like mortgages or buying property, I never have to be limited of who I can like borrow money from in terms of banks because of my visas. Just all sorts of things that will change for me now that I am dual. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time.